There we go. So, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's online presentation with LifeVantage with Team Leverage. And we're going to be talking about disruptive technologies, what they're disrupting, who they're disrupting, what it means for you. And we're really just going to reason together to look at a couple things. We're going to define some terms. I found that there's things that I think they know the meanings of, but once I actually get the definition, it helps me to understand. We're going to put the spotlight on LifeVantage, really look at who and what they are as an entity, what they're doing, what's important about it. And we're going to ask the question, why does it matter for you? Like really, who cares? Is it going to provide you with a better life? Is it going to provide you with something for you and your family? Is it, one of the things we're disrupting is the business world as well as the pharmaceutical world, the supplement world, the home business world, and so we're going to just look at that. So, and really the question is, a few years ago, it was actually a number of years ago. And someone showed me this industry of network distribution. And they said, what is it that you want more of in your life, Fred? Like, what's important to you? And we had young children, maybe one was close to a teenager, was scrambling, trying to make money, trying to work, driving an old S10 pickup truck that was rusting and falling apart. And, working really hard, doing the best we could, had no leverage in our lives. Actually, we had leverage that was working against us. And, just scrambling like everybody, just that's the way the game's played, and doing the best we could. When he asked that question, I thought it was really odd, because I was working really hard. But he said, because here's the reason I'm asking. He says, because if there's not something that you want in your life, like something to improve your life, if you don't want more, if you're happy with the status quo, if you don't want better health, or you don't want, he explained kind of the concept of leverage. If you don't want any of that in your life, then I don't really have anything for you. And it's the same right now. This is a different presentation. We're not, face to face, but we're online. And so really, what is it? I'm going to just ask you this for you to think about and to think about later, like, what's important to you? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? Do you want better health? Do you want more time with your family? Do you want to leave a legacy? For me, a legacy was real important once I understood that, hey, as a working guy, working in a plant, working in a refinery, I could actually create and leave a legacy. I could make a difference. I could be in front of something. So I'm asking that, to spend a couple minutes on that in the front end, because really that's the most important thing, because we're going to show you something with LifeVantage that's doing close to $250 million. But let's just jump into this now. And so this is my family, and I just share this because you got a family too. And this is what's important. This is why I was willing to do something extra, why I was willing to learn some extra skills, is I wanted time with my family. I wanted that legacy. And I wanted autonomy. I didn't want to keep doing this. That's where I worked, in this refinery. I knew pretty well every single valve, every vessel, what it did. I knew the electronics behind it. I knew the analyzer system. I was on the high-tech, high end of this refinery. Worked with the wireless technology as that was being brought out. And within a year of what I found with this LifeVantage opportunity, this disruptive opportunity, within a year, I was able to walk away from that steady job with one of the major oil companies in the world, and because of disruption. And disruptions have been with us for not only our lives, but basically forever. Whenever a disruptive technology comes in, it changes everything. So the assembly line changed everything. The internal combustion engine changed everything. Well, right now we're seeing it basically on a daily basis. These wireless goofy phones here, right, that are computers that we can talk to anybody in the world, but we can run our whole lives, our whole business, or everything on this, the Internet of Things, right? That's just one example. And so a disruptive technology significantly alters the way entire industries operate, and the way people work, the way they consume, the way we think. They actually are the way we use Google today, it's actually changed the way we think, the way we process information. So a disruption is a process whereby a small company with limited resources can successfully challenge the status quo of a large business, of a whole industry, or invent entirely new markets. And LifeVantage is in that category. So, but we're going to look into that is LifeVantage Disruptive. And so this is, the traditional plan. That top graph at the top there is what we were taught. I'll put it in first person. What I was taught: get out of school, get a good job, work for 40 to 50 years, hope for the best, hope you maintain your job, hope all the good things happen, and you can retire for a few years, you maintain your health and all that. And when I saw the LifeVantage plan, the first part's the same. We learn. We learn, we spend our life learning and growing. Then we join LifeVantage, and we do that actually while we're in the 40-year plan, right? So I happened to do that, when I was, after I was in for 31 years into the 40-year plan. And within a year, I was able to retire. So with LifeVantage, we earn as we learn, and we learn as we earn as we go. And then we spend the rest of our life earning, learning, and growing and living life, as opposed to in the traditional plan. Well, I like that. I, for one, like that concept. And so with all presentations that we do, online or in person, where we talk about opportunity. Now, if we just talk product, we don't need to do this, but if we're talking opportunity, today we're going to spend a lot of time on product and the technology behind it as well. But this is an income disclosure sheet. LifeVantage is a publicly traded company in the network marketing world. We have to present this. And so that column that I have in red is the average monthly incomes. And our rank levels are on the left-hand side. So they're basically distributor partner to Pro 11. And you can see people are earning anything from a few dollars a month up to $120,000 a month, right? And everything in between. So how can that possibly be? So let's just dig down a little bit more in these middle ranks, which are called Pro 3, Pro 4, Pro 5, and the average incomes are right there. And so what would make a difference for you? To come back to that first question, what do you want more in your life? Maybe is it an ongoing pension style income? Would it make a difference to make $7,000, $17,000 a year, $35,000 a year on top of what you're already doing? So it gives you choices, right? And here's something very interesting. This is our new financial income disclosure that they just released a few weeks ago. And down at the bottom in the fine print there, and I can guarantee that on no other company's financial disclosure does it say this. So this is just an American one, a US one. We are doing business in 16 countries, 17 countries. So just US distributors alone. So this is an FDA requirement, not an FDA, an FTC requirement. So, and in Canada, they'll be coming out with ours in about a month, which is required by the Competition Bureau. But in the States, $70 million was paid out to the USA distributors. And so we've actually paid out over $110 million last year. So the rest went to the rest of the world. But in the States, there was 58,000 distributors during that period. So folks that joined the company, paid a $50 membership and wanted to be a distributor partner. 44,577 of these distributors received commissions. So that's 76%, 76.7% of all our distributors shared in the global commissions. So in other words, they told somebody that had an interest in the technology, that had an interest in buying a product. And so 76% of our distributors actually made income. Now, so others have done it. And so what we do is we share information about a product and a service to other people. We share an ABC investigative news report. We answer questions about this breakthrough in biology, which we're really going to dig into next. And some people have created careers out of it. Other people are creating a little side hustle where they're making an extra couple thousand, 3,000 a year or even a month on top of what they're already doing on an ongoing pension style income. So the question is others have done it. If this is possible, can you do it? Is there a system in place? So so let's talk specifically LifeVantage. Now, LifeVantage is a publicly traded company, and some tier 1 research that they've discovered by putting herbs together. It signals to the cell and turns on our survival genes in a nutshell. In 2005, that ABC report ran because John Quinones and the gang at ABC had heard about this patent of this little company, and they sent the reporters in, their camera crews, and they did blood tests and put the results on TV. And this and the blood doesn't lie. And it reduced something called oxidative stress, an average of 40%. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Well, when that happened, universities and institutions began their own self-funded research because this has never been done before in the history of the world. And so this little publicly traded company, the stock went up, but they didn't have it. They weren't in sales. They had to get some sales. So they started out in stores, and the clerk wasn't able to do what we're able to do today and show that ABC report and explain the technology behind this. So the product sat on the store shelves. They had to do something. They decided to shift into person to person because this really is a product that's got a story to be told. And my internet's so slow. There's a little 3-minute video. Get back to the person that invited you here and watch that little 3-minute video that'll explain that. So we switched from retail to direct person to person. There's a story to be told. We tell the ABC News Report story, and the volume went up from a couple $1 million a year losing money to over $200 million. It's actually closer to $250 million now. Institutional investors are buying up our stock right now. We've done $1.6 billion in the last 10 years of cumulative sales. $700 million has been paid out to folks like you and I. So we look at that income disclosure. That's where that's coming from. That almost 50% of the revenue is getting paid back to us. We've had 23 million bottles of our flagship product in 10 years. Folks, this is working. It's going to continue to work without me, without, LifeVantage is the technology behind it is going disruptive. It's going household, and we're expanding throughout the world. Some more evidence. This is a picture of Erin Brockovich. Most of us have seen the movie Erin Brockovich. What she, she went in and she discovered some things and was able to run a lawsuit against a company. Well, she's just joined our board of directors, and going forward, this is a big deal because we're publicly traded. We've got these tier 1 people on our board of directors giving us advice. So she just joined our board of directors. This is where we'd play that little 3-minute video, which we can't do today. So show back up on Monday, Michael Haney, he does play that. So disruptive trends, Uber, Airbnb, Facebook, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all of these companies started out very small, some in a garage, and are now household. They're just part of our life, multi-billion-dollar companies. Well, LifeVantage, I believe, will someday be in the same category. Will we ever be as big as Amazon or Apple? I am not saying that. I'm saying that what we're doing is disruptive. Forbes magazine has said that the economy, the world has changed, North America has changed, and that 50% of the population, adult population, is going to have a side hustle looking for extra income because we're working 2-3 jobs trying to make ends meet. And so that's really what Airbnb and Uber is. It's being able to take an asset, your car or your home, and create income from something you already have. So biohacking. So what we're doing, and our first slide started out with biohacking. So biohacking is taking control of our own internal biology, our own cellular biology. It's optimizing our own genetic potential to the optimum, to optimize ourselves, to optimize our family. And so we've been hijacked, though. On the other side, we've been hijacked. Over time, we've been hijacked, with the air we breathe, with food we eat, with electromotive forces, with soon to come 5G, where we're going to have thousands of transmitters, receivers everywhere, everywhere. We've been, so at the same time, we're living in, I think, the greatest time ever to be alive because there's so much opportunity. There's what we're in front of. And so nutrigenomics is another major trend, and that's wasn't possible a few years ago because it's only been about 20 years that we've been able to map the DNA. It used to be $1 million to a year to map the DNA. Now it's done in a day. Right? So we know so much about the DNA, and that's where all this is coming from with LifeVantage and nutrigenomics, natural products, and our genome. And so the latest trends in nutrition isn't a fad diet, right? It isn't, high fat, low carb. It isn't whatever. You name the trend, the South Beach, the Mediterranean, the blood diet, the whatever, right? It's not a fad diet. It's our own DNA. It's activating and repairing our own DNA. And so at LifeVantage, we've went the wrong way there. They've tapped into the body's DNA to turn on the survival genes and reduce something called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is the precursor to all disease. All science knows this. There's been 212,000 studies. I keep hitting the wrong button, sorry. So, and what is oxidative stress? Well, it's breathing. It's the damage in the cells from being alive, and so from exercise, from the water we drink, from microwaves, from EMS, from cell phones that causes oxidative stress, chemicals, gasoline, airplanes. And on the right-hand side, we can see oxidative stress and free radicals as hand in glove. And another thing is aging is hand in glove with that. And so it affects things, like it says their heart, skin, kidneys, joints. And so with LifeVantage, we've been able to tap in to the master regulator of the switch. So you see there the man with the fire hose. Well, or just go to the other side. The direct antioxidants, when we eat food, we take vitamins, and that it's a 1-to-1. One antioxidant is neutralizing one free radical. When we can activate the cell to repair itself, activate this NRF2 master protein, it's 1,000,000 to 1 per second every second. So it's turning on the body's own production of these big molecules, the catalase, the glutathione, the superoxide dismutase in the cell, and it's 1,000,000 to 1 second per second. So old technology, say, record albums, right? Record albums versus downloadables, MP3s, and the future technology there, that's the 1-to-1. It was good. It was the best we had. Well, now we can have 1,000,000 to 1 per second every second. So the sentence that it took me to say that, a minute, that was, with 60 seconds, 6 million free radicals were neutralized in my body. And so just to talk real quickly about 5G, because we're being hijacked, and this is coming. There's probably a big need for it because the Internet of Things, the speed of what we need, the autonomous vehicles, and that it's popping up all over. We're seeing it. You're seeing it all over. It's coming into Canada. It's coming in the U.S. And so there's a good reason that this is happening, but it actually causes oxidative stress. And we're going to be seeing little cells, small cells, or that you're seeing there, that outdoor cell. There's 256 little arrays inside that that are transmitting and receiving data. An indoor cell looks like a smoke detector, right? So that's going to be a 5G cell, and we're seeing that right now. We even got them as drones, right? Or they've got them as drones for if you have an outdoor concert, so that this thing here doesn't drop, our cell phones don't drop, right? Or our vehicles don't crash. So this is being rolled out right now, and it causes oxidative stress. This is Professor Martin Pall. He wrote something called a Washington State University report about NRF2 activation, where he said that's the most important preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. Here he's talking about where he talked to Congress and to the Federal Trade Commission about 5G. And he just says there needs to be more testing on this, and that it's basically causing oxidative stress. So documentation beats conversation. And we'll do another seminar right about the 5G and that, but we've got a solution here at LifeVantage. So documentation beats conversation. So this is PubMed.gov. It's the National Library of Medicine. And you can see here, at the end of April, there was over 208,000 studies linking oxidative stress to disease. And I said that correctly. Today, it's over 212,000 studies. It's going up by 75 per day. We see where it says 6,000 studies this year. It's up over about 9,000 this year. And this is that Washington State report that I mentioned from Dr. Martin Pall. And he says activating NRF2 is what Protandim does, is activating the master cellular protection and detoxification of the cell, and it's activating over 500 genes, 500 survival genes. And it says here that it's the most important preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine, and it will be for the foreseeable future. And this chart is a chart of diseases and the citation of different peer-reviewed studies that were talking about that. But the point is at the top there, diseases were raising NRF2 is reported to be useful in prevention and treatment. And there's a whole host of things here. And it says activating this NRF2, that's a part of the cell. It's the master regulator of the cell, in that it's nature's way of preventing these oxidative stress type diseases, and that our dietary deficiencies, our diet used to, when it was 100 years old, 100 years ago, before GMOs, when it was nutrient dense, it activated our NRF2 protein. We now know that broccoli actually activates our NRF2 protein, but you have to have 1.8 kilograms of it a day to do what one pill of our Protandim does. And so in that study that they were looking at, all these different studies about NRF2 in that meta study, they included our flagship product Protandim in that big study because it activated NRF2. And it just says here, Protandim, NRF2 signals to the NRF2 pathway. So we started out by asking, is this disruptive? 1,000,000 to 1 per second, every second, activating and repairing the master regulator of the cell that's controlling the survival genes and the enzymes. On the bottle of our Protandim in Canada, Health Canada has approved us to say right on the bottle that Protandim is activating the body's own antioxidant defense mechanisms that fight free radicals. Nothing else says that. And so Protandim, this is our flagship product. This is where it all started. This is where that ABC News report went, and they went in and they did blood tests and put the results on TV. And it's the only supplement proven in clinical studies to reduce oxidative stress in humans an average of 40% in 30 days. It's combating cellular stress. You know, is combating stress important, cellular stress important? Well, yes, it is, through NRF2 activation. It helps your body's survival genes. So it's the only Protandim NRF2 is the solution to help us slow down cellular aging. And there was a study done about that. Universities around the globe started looking at it. The universities and institutions like the American Heart Association. The American Heart Association has never funded a study on a natural product in the history of their organization, and yet they did here with a $3 million study. So we've got little universities. You know, you don't really hear of these places like Harvard, Louisiana State University, Johns Hopkins University, the National Institute of Aging, University of Colorado, Denver, Duke University. And so they started looking at this not to validate our product Protandim, but because it actually reduced oxidative stress and activated the NRF2 pathway. And so maybe a bit of overkill here, but the National Institute of Aging did a 5-year study. And here's the basics of the conclusion. Protandim NRF2, one of our products, we have 20 now, significantly extends health span and lifespan. Since 1999, Protandim NRF2 was the only nutritional supplement tested to increase survival and thus delay the aging process. That was in the news, right? That was a little article that was in the news. It's, you know, our CEO has spoke to investor groups and these big investment companies. And when he brings up this NIA study, you know, they'll say to him, why didn't you tell us that in the beginning? You've got something that's extending life. And so these large investor companies like BlackRock are investing in LifeVantage. You know, that's what I call a clue. So we've created a product that activates our NRF1 protein, which is the mitochondria, which is the power plant of the cell. So it's enhancing our overall cellular health. So we've got 2 Protandims now. We're likely to have more Protandims as this company evolves and becomes better and more science, and we discover new innovative products to activate the cell in different ways. So, but this is boosting our mitochondria production, increasing cellular energy. Is that important, right? We've got now we've taken 4 products and put it in a stack. It's called a Vitality Stack. When people buy that, the company reduces the price of them individually, pays for the shipping. My wife and I are both on a Vitality Stack. It's both Protandims. It's a ProBio for our gut health, where it actually gets into the gut and it does its job. It's a very, very important product. A lot of people are having gut issues and gut problems, and there's a brain-gut link that now they say is 80% of our health is this connection between our gut and our brain. We've got a an omega plus that's also in this pack that is helping with this, with the cell membrane, and as these environmental damages that are coming at us, to protect the cell membrane, super, super important. We've got a brain food product that's just kicking the butt of that whole chemical cocktail world. And I could get on a soapbox about this, about our teenagers and what's happening with these things, I'll name a couple of them, the Monsters, the Red Bulls, right? And what that's doing. And there's no testing at all that's done on that. And yet they're selling it as an energy drink, not a health drink, so they can just roll it out and make billions of dollars. So our product is a brain food. But as you read this slide, I'm going to talk about what Health Canada says. In Canada, in order to sell a natural product, it's got to be approved. You've got to document it, and that goes with all of our products. Well, I want to give a shout out to Axio, because with our NPN number, is we had to document what this does, and then they looked at it, they approve it, and they approve it or they disprove it. They allow you to sell it or they don't, and then if they allow you to sell it, they give you a natural product number. So this here is what, one sleeve of Axio, you put it in a little 8, 10, 12 ounce bottle of water. That's what I got here in my water bottle. And here's what it says on the website, that Axio Red Raspberry, we got 5 flavors. In Canada, we got 1. And so it's a source of antioxidants. It develops and maintains bones and teeth. It develops muscles, including the heart. It helps in energy metabolism. It helps in tissue formation, right? It helps in normal growth and development. Don't we want that for not only ourselves as adults, but for our kids? Normal growth and development. Helps maintain an electrolyte balance. So anyone that's an athlete, that perspires, that works hard, that's in construction, that's a gymnastics teacher, right? So helps maintain electrolyte balance. A hockey player, a soccer player, helps the body to metabolize nutrients, helps form red blood cells, helps in the normal function of the immune system, helps to prevent vitamin B6 and B12 deficiency, all on the document that Health Canada approves us to say. And, I wanted to find terms. I started out with, so metabolism. The definition of metabolism, because the word metabolism was used a couple of times, metabolize nutrients. The metabolism, the definition is the chemical process that occurs within a living organism in order to maintain life. So it metabolizes nutrients within an organism to maintain life. We've taken this NRF2 technology and put it into skincare. So we've got a whole skincare system, and you can see some of the stats here after trials, right? With where they went out and they did trials. 87% had younger looking skin in 8 days. Smooth skin smelt's good too, and it felt smoother. Brighter, more luminous, more energetic skin, more hydrated, more moisturized skin. I use all the products. I resist, and I didn't really resist it. I just forgot it wasn't part of my daily routine, but I'm making it part of my daily routine now. And I always use the step 4 as an aftershave, right? So to replenish the skin. We've got a hair care system, the same thing. So we got that NRF2 activated with no chemicals to activate and repair and restore hair, right? So nourish the scalp, support normal hair growth, and so on and so forth. And so we've got many products now. All of them are unique in the marketplace. So we've basically got products that, that make us look younger, that make us feel younger, that biologically make us younger, that make us think more clear, that think better. Do you think there'd be a market for that? We got products that actually activate the mitochondria in the cell and reduce the oxidative stress. Do you think there'd be a market? When I saw this, I thought, well, I want my mom and dad to know about this. I want my kids. I want my neighbors. I want my cousins. I just want people to know about biohacking, about NRF2 activation. And so we are disrupting so many industries, the anti-aging, the skincare, the hair care, the pet care, the energy, by self-consuming the products and teaching. So if we capture 1% of this, we're a $6 billion company, and our products are superior. It's just amazing. So if you ever wanted to be in front of an opportunity, if you ever wanted to change your life, if you ever wanted to give yourself some security in your life and security from the world out there, and a financial security and security of being with some great people, LifeVantage is an answer. I think it's the answer in this industry. LifeVantage gives back to communities, right? It's a giving company. They give 50% of their revenue to the distributor partners, which we already established in the beginning. And they also take part of the revenue and give back to the communities that we operate in, the communities that we live in, right? So what can be better than that? We're expanding globally, right? So we're expanding in our neighborhood. We're expanding globally. This will be a household name. I believe that's a little future forward-looking statement. But, you know, my blood tests have been coming back so good. And those are the people that we know, and doctors in the medical community starting to figure this out. And I believe someday, it might be 4 years, it might be 8 years, when we get a blood test, the doctors are going to be measuring for our inflammation markers. Sometimes they do that now, but they're going to be active or looking for our NRF2 protein. Maybe they're going to come out with a breath test that'll do that, or a saliva test, or a urine test. But at some point, they're going to be measuring our NRF2 protein, because it's the master regulator of the cell. And when that happens and that rolls out, everybody's going to have to be on and want to be on an NRF2 activator, because this 5G is going to be everywhere and it's causing oxidative stress. So we're going to want to be, everybody is going to be on an NRF2 activator. And we're going to want our animals, our kids, everybody on it. That's what I believe is happening, right? Now, they will have created drugs by then that do that. So we're going to have an option. We'll be able to take a drug, right? Or we'll be able to take something natural like Protandim and an Axio in a vitality stack, right? To protect ourselves. Did I say protect ourselves? So when we can do this from our phone, right? We can have, on the income side, on the business side, we can have an app on a phone that we can build an international worldwide business. We've got these webinars that there's going to be somebody explaining it. Next time it'll be someone other than me. And so we download this app. So all of our distributor partners get with their smartphone, download the app, and then there's training, and we've got our website all right there. Right? And so why LifeVantage? Well, we've got timing. We've got third-party validation. We've got products that people buy and want. We've got customers, right? 9 out of 10 people that join our company join as customers. Our customers join for free. Our customers they join for free, and they pay wholesale for the product. So we own the people that join as partners say, hey, I want to be a partner, right? I want a business of my own. I want to be adding value. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We've got international expansion, corporate leadership. We've got a website that our team provides called Team Leverage. So this is LV Connector. You can see there in yellow. It's in multiple languages. We're putting it in more. Spanish should be out, I'm hoping, this week. And we're in Chinese and Dutch. You know, we can expand it into Korean if we need to, or if we expand to Brazil, as an example, we can put it in Portuguese. So we just, you know, we have partners that we all work together. We're a team. We've got Facebook groups. We really, really utilize Facebook groups, right? Because people are familiar with Facebook, and we can hear what other people are saying. Every one of my people I talk to, I add to one of our Facebook groups. Every customer, every distributor partner, and we've got a team group where we do our coaching, training, best practices that are only for our team members. So how do we get started? Well, first off, right now in June, because it's our 10-year anniversary, the company's waived our starter kit. But normally it's $50, or in Canada it's $45. And in that kit, we get a paper kit, and we get some products. In the States and Canada, we don't get products in the kit. The government doesn't allow it. And we get a personalized website, right? And we get a personalized back office, all for free. And then we get a smart app. We've talked a little bit about that, where we can actually build an international business from our phone that we carry in our pocket. We are the first generation in the history of the world that can do that. And then we pick a pack. So as a partner, our customers join for free, and they pay they buy their products, they pay wholesale, if they get on a subscription. Bob's your uncle, easy peasy. Now, our distributor partners, they are looking, hey, you know what? I see this. I see the value. I see this trend. I want to be in front of this. I saw that income disclosure sheet. I've made a decision. Hey, if I can make $1,000 a month, or if I can make $500 a month to help with the car payment or pay off some school loans, right? Or if I can add, say, $1,000 or $2,000 as I graduate from college and maybe pay down my school loans while I'm going to school, you know, because this is meant to be done while we're doing other activities. That's what I did. So we purchased a Platinum Pack, and it's got all the products, and it's got It's got the app, it's got free shipping, it's got, in the States, we got what's called the Platinum Experience, where the company possibly give a customer, because we attract a lot of customers because we're the front jersey sponsor of the Salt Lake Real soccer team, professional soccer team. So people see the jersey, they just research LifeVantage and they want to be a customer. So a Platinum Pack person in the States actually can get some customers. But more importantly, we get all of our products at a huge deep discount at 39%. You can see it's worth almost $2,000, and it's for $1,200. But the most important thing in there to me is that ticket to our next live training, where the whole company gets together with all the distributor leaders and the people that want to create a business and teach the best practices. And we meet the company, and we meet the doctors, and we meet the culture, right? And the belief level actually goes, hey, I'm in a real business, right? So that's so we get the products, we start our business, all tax deductible. Or we could start with a gold pack. That's free this month as well. The starter pack part of it's free, the business pack, and the products are $600, and it's 500 points. Products are deeply discounted. It's free shipping. We get the phone app, and we get and this one we get a ticket as well. And that's both in Canada and the United States. They're different product mixes, and say in England it's a different product mix, but the points and the volume is all the same. Now we got a silver pack, and that's 250 points and about a 30% discount on products. There's no ticket to the next training event, and we get the phone app, and it's free shipping. So it'll say if it's shipping into Michigan, it'll ship out of Atlanta. And in Michigan, there's no taxes on our product. If it's in Canada, it's going to ship out of Toronto and ship wherever, and it's free shipping, plus whatever the taxes are for the pack in Canada. It's a good deal. Business, when we're business with one of those packs. And then we get paid. The company pays us. The company pays us to move product. We don't get paid to enroll people or to enroll a customer. We get paid, I'm just going to shut that off. We get paid for moving product through a network of people, right? And so the company's paying out, like I said, 48 to 50% of the revenue. So when we move one of these kits, say a platinum pack, in Canada, you're going to make $500. In the States, you make $400. It's different currencies, of course. Started as a Pro 1. So if you came in as a platinum and you moved 3 of them, you got your money back. If you came in as a silver and you move a platinum pack, right, you're going to get the full commission. So it's really cool. It's really well thought out. And we got launch bonuses that we get paid weekly as well. We get there's fast start money. That's what we just talked about. There's monthly residuals, and they're paying us extra if we grow quickly in the beginning. So LifeVantage says, if you start quickly, we'll pay you more and we'll pay you quicker. So that's kind of cool. We've got global revenue pool. That's worth talking about there, because the company's taking 4% of the global revenue, and with all the leaders that reach a certain rank of Pro 7, they share 4% of the global revenue with the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. So the whole leadership of the company is all working for everybody, if that makes sense. So it does, like we have a small group in Japan, but when we're Pro 7, we're going to receive an override of all of Japan, as an example. And you can too, and we'll help you to do that. And so, here's just some logic in today's world where people are working 2-3 jobs trying to make ends meet, where we have high debt, where people are coming out of school with huge debt. I was reading the other day that the real estate market's really being affected because students are coming out of school with such high debt that over 60% are resigned to not buying a house. Certainly until they're 40. They're not looking until they're 40 to thinking that they'll buy a house. People are living with their parents until they're in their 30s now, trying to pay off this doggone school debt. And that's another whole topic. I won't get into how all that worked and came about today. But, we're carrying so much debt, and interest rates are low. If interest rates go up a little bit, so never depending on a single income is great advice. Maybe that's why we have so many professionals joining us here at LifeVantage, people that have secure jobs like I did. I wanted a secondary income, and it became my primary income. And so make an investment in time and effort to be ready when your chance comes. When, we're all going to work hard our whole lives. We're all going to learn new things. The only thing that's inevitable is change. It's going to keep coming, and it's going to keep changing faster and faster. To think that change isn't going to happen, well, if we embrace change and we embrace opportunities with change, the future is so bright. It is, so bright. I was telling before the call today, I'm actually looking at buying a new tractor. I would have never thought I'd be buying a new tractor. Right? My old Minneapolis Moline tractor doesn't have power steering, and it hardly ever starts. Right? So I'm like, hey, I'd like to buy a new tractor. So I was out tractor shopping today, and that's because of LifeVantage. It's not because of my farm. So one good opportunity at the right time is worth a lifetime of labor. So with all this change and disruptive technology and everything coming, it's kind of like being on, this is all coming at us. Picture an escalator, and the escalator is coming down, and all this technology and change coming at us, and we're running up the escalator like this, right? What if you could just jump over to the other escalator, where now all the technology and all the change is pushing up, and we're running up the escalator with the change, with the stuff that's happening, with the people that are moving in that positive direction. That's where I see what we're doing with LifeVantage. We're on that up escalator with the change in the technology that's happening, pushing us to higher prosperity, great relationships, and that. So one great opportunity is worth a lifetime of labor if you hit it at the right time. And so we do 3 skills or 3 calls. This one here, this webinar is, and Monday night we do one, and then where we just tell the story, and we take turns doing this. Tonight was my turn. And then on Saturday we have a skills training where we actually get in and we learn some skills. We learn actually how simple this is, and we learn how not to sell. That's the big thing that we really teach, is how not to over promote and oversell. Because at LifeVantage, the truth is good enough. And it's the same channel here, this meeting room on Zoom. And so we covered a lot today. And we asked, is LifeVantage a disruptive technology? Well, is cellular activation disruptive? Is 1,000,000 to 1 per second every second? Is activating the mitochondria, the master regulator, and the NRF2 in our brain, our skin, and our hair, and our cells, and our pets, and our animals, and our children? Is that disruptive? We have products that make us feel better, that make us look better, that biologically actually make us better and age slower and increase health span, plus protect against the oxidative damage of the environment. Do you think that there's a market for this? So who are we disrupting? Well, the supplement industry just can't do it. Right now, there's great supplements, and there's some that we should probably still take if that's, but when it comes to cellular activations, we're disrupting that world. We're disrupting the pharmaceutical world as well. And so does this matter to you? Only you can answer that. Do you want to be a customer? A lot of people are looking, hey, I want to be a customer, and I want to get this product. I want to have this Axio. I want this brain food. I want it for my kids. I want, so be a customer. Customers and distributors pay the same price for the product. Maybe you say, well, hey, you know what? I want to be a partner. I want to be in front of this trend. Hey, because if you find 3 people that want to run with you, 3 people, we can go right to the top of our comp plan by 3 teaching 3 teaching 3. It never works perfectly well like that, but it does over time, and it fills out. So thank you for your time. Please get back to the person that invited you here to look at this presentation. They really cared enough about you. They went out of their comfort zone, thought of you, to invite you to have a look, and so just get back and say, hey, I'm ready to be a customer. I'm ready to be a partner. Or I need my questions answered. Hey, I need to talk to some more people. That's actually what I did. I went and I said to the person that shared this with me, I said, introduce me to some other people. And I actually flew out to the company, and our next Elite Academy training, what I went to, is in Kansas City, July 17th and 18th, or 18th and 19th. That would be the best thing you can do to get more information, to see if this is your opportunity, if this is for you. So with that, I'm going to stop the share. And I'm going to stop the recording. And I want to just thank you for your time, for your attention. And the future is very, very bright. And I look forward to your answer, whether this is for you. And I'm glad to have added some value. It's not for everybody. It's maybe not the easiest thing to do in the world, but it's certainly for me, from my perspective, was beat going to work for someone else for the rest of my life, to have no pension, no retirement, and to be hustling forever. So that's why we love LifeVantage. And so thank you for your time and attention, and just blessings to you and your family. We'll see you Saturday.